What is going on, everybody? We are back for another round of our No Frills Halloween Horror Nights construction updates over here at Universal Studios Orlando. It is Friday, July 25th, and we have a ton to go over this week. We're not going to waste any time. We're going to go ahead and get started. First up, we are over here in Hollywood, taking a look at a ton of set pieces and theming that they have added over here. The first thing to cover over here as we make our way into the scare zone is they've added some theming to the bases of the trusses here at the front. Next up we're going to take a look at is all of these stages that they have set up in this area. Looks like we have 4 stages total over here. All of them have the speakers down at the bottom and also kind of set back behind this artwork grill speaker cloth here. I really like the look of this artwork that they have over here. It's this kind of leafy, feathery, kind of filigree looking stuff. It's really kind of reminiscent of old like Renaissance era type feel, type vibe. Looks really cool. I like it a lot. Each one of the stages has their own stained glass type artwork against the backdrop. We'll take a good look at each one. This first one here has a crow or a raven looking creature on it. I'm sure there's going to be some lights in there in those panels that'll light up and give it some backlight to really make the effect look really nice at night. And it looks like all of these stages will have this kind of faux tile work looking effect on it as well. It looks like it's kind of a grippy surface, so it probably give the scare actors something that they can walk on that's going to not be slick and keep them from falling over. We'll take a look at the second stage over here as we make our way in. Looks like this one has a panther or some kind of cat-like creature for the stained glass artwork on the back of it. This stage does not have the tile work all throughout, not on this top level yet. You can see it's just kind of this MDF board here. So yeah, that tile work stuff is definitely to give it some texture so they don't slip on it. Looking at the artwork down here at the bottom, unlike the other stage, it doesn't look like there's speakers behind this one. This one just looks like it's solid artwork on these squares here. These first 3 stages are all pretty much exactly the same except for the artwork on the stained glass in the back, and then the 2 have the speakers covered up with that artwork grill cloth, whereas the third one is not a speaker, it's just a solid piece with the artwork over it. This third stage here has this really cool gargoyle looking creature on the stained glass here on the back of it. And the fourth and final stage they have set up is a completely different aesthetic. It's kind of like this stonework looking vibe. I don't even really know how to describe it. It has a guardrail up here at the top, so I'm sure there'll be a scare actor up here talking and taunting the crowd. And then this one for the stained glass in the back has this bat-like creature on it. Looks pretty awesome. Instead of the tile on this fourth stage, they have this kind of wood floor looking stuff, but it has that same grit and texture on it as the tile for the scare actor, so not slipping and sliding around. And this fourth stage only has speakers at the bottom. It doesn't have them in those same square spots that the other 2 stages did. And finally, over here in front of Mel's, we have another piece of theming, this set piece they put up. It's just kind of a half archway looking thing. I don't think it's just for theming. It's just to kind of set the vibe for the scare zone as you enter it from the side. Not too much going on over here in Battery Park. It looks like they've just added some speakers to these lighting trusses here by the TV stands that they have set up. Next up, we'll take a quick look at this food booth section over here on the side of Central Park. They've added some simple string lights, these red lights over here to add to the mood and the vibe as you're getting some food and snacks over here. We'll take a stroll through Central Park over here and take a look at all of these set pieces and theming they have added. It is quite a lot over here at the Cat Lady of Crooked Lane scare zone. You can see on this first set piece, it literally says Crooked Lane, so pretty much verified that this is where that scare zone is going to be. They've got a 9 on this sign to represent the 9 lives that a cat has, as well as the pictures, the emblems of the cats themselves on there. It's pretty cool looking. They also have these hinges sticking out the sides of these pillars on this entranceway. I'm sure these are going to be for a gate of some kind that they'll set up here to add to the theming of entering this area. Back here on these stages that they have set up on the other side of the fence, it looks like they're doing some heavy work here, lifting them up a little bit, digging underneath them. And also looks like they've got something bolted down to those circular sections that we were looking at earlier where the bolts were sticking up out of. Pretty much all of these platforms behind the fence here have the board bolted down on top of them, and it looks like it's kind of raised up off the ground a little bit too. I'm pretty sure they've added this speaker as well over here back by the gift stand, the merch shop over here in Central Park. They've also added 3 of these planters, these raised portions. I'm not really sure what to call these things with the stone and the brickwork on them. But yeah, they've got 3 of them throughout this scare zone. And if you look at the top up here, there's a hole down through the center of the top with a piece of some kind of cloth, potato sack, or whatever you want to call it, covering up the hole. So I'm sure they'll be adding something to the top of these pedestals here that they've set up. So excited to see what they add to the top of these to set the theming throughout here. They have definitely added a few speakers in this scare zone since the last time we were here. We got another one on the side of the NBC Preview Center over here. They are getting serious over here on the side of the NBC Preview Center. They have poured some fresh concrete for this platform, this base here. Another one with these bolts, these circular bolts sticking up out of them, and they've bolted some kind of plate to it. Another couple of speakers over here on this side of the NBC Preview Center. And yeah, they've turned this into a concrete pad. So it seems like that's what they're doing with those spots with the platforms, is pouring down some concrete for whatever they're about to mount onto these platforms here. Yeah, that is definitely why they are digging underneath those platforms over there, is they're getting ready to pour some concrete to make these permanent. As we exit out of the main Central Park area, we have this big giant set piece over here. You can see there's plenty of room to walk through it, so the scare actors will be set up in these kind of little boo holes, and as people walk through them, they'll be reaching out and scaring them. This is going to be really awesome. I'm really glad they extended this scare zone out into this courtyard area in front of the animal actor stage. Can see a light here inside of this one that'll shine up onto the back of the stained glass there to illuminate it, so that'll look really cool at night. Looks like we've got some lights mounted up onto the top here. It's shining over onto this boo hole, so they'll probably have some trigger effect to light up when they scare you and jump out at you. That'd be really cool. We've also got a speaker up here mounted on top of this one for some sound effects that they'll trigger. Got the entrances over here on the back side for the scare actors to get into their boo holes here. Very cool stained glass effect on the front of this whole structure here. If you look real closely, you can see that it's kind of cat-shaped with the ears and the eyes there. Nothing yet on the stage over here. Hopefully we get some theming on this soon. We've got some pretty big updates back here at the Sprung Tent Houses. Over here for Sprung Tent House 2, they've added a little cross beam piece into that window over there on the dollhouse. A little bit of distressing to the roof paneling on the side there with those kind of shingle looking things. And it looks like they finished painting the back of it black. And then far off in the distance there, you can see the Fallout sign. So we know that the Fallout house is going to be in one of those tents that's way back there behind Men in Black. Some serious progress is made on the Sprung Tent House 1 for the Hatchet and Chains house. Looks like they're pretty much almost done building the main structure. Looks like we kind of have a porch with like a fence looking thing on it. They've got the roof on here. This one's really coming together. It's looking pretty awesome. I'm really seeing the vision here with the old Western theme and all that stuff going on. So I'm excited to see what this facade looks like in the end. Not too much going on over here at the Nightmare Fuel stage, which they have confirmed is returning this year. Just these kind of torn up, tattered up American flags that they've hung from the rafters here. Not really much going on over here in San Francisco. Looks like they took down that fenced off area that was over here by the exit of Fast and the Furious, so not quite sure what that was about. And then over here on the stage by the lagoon where the DJ is going to be at for this area, they've added some bar lights to this truss work here next to it. And finally, on this beautiful evening, we will take a quick stroll through New York and see what they have done here. Over at the, what is the exit to Sting Alley, they have added this singular upright piece of truss work over here. They have taken down the lettering over here on the marquee for the arcade. Not sure what that's about. I'm pretty sure they've added these banners as well. I could be mistaken, have to reference last week's video, but I'm pretty sure they've added these arcade banners up here as well. Over here by the classic tribute store location here in New York, this is that box we talked about last week. 99% sure this is a speaker. I'm sure they'll turn it and face it towards the crowd once the event starts. And that is going to do it for the construction updates over here at Halloween Horror Nights Orlando for this week. Hopefully we see that big, beautiful medallion in the archway soon. Had a lot of great updates this week with Hollywood and Central Park. Really excited to see what they bring to the table next week. As always, if you have stuck around this long in the video, I greatly appreciate your time, and we'll see you next week.